Tonight, simply the best. Sydney's Harbour Spectacular kickstarts 2015. A young father fighting for life after a firework explosion on the beach at Sans Souci. Also tonight, a Campbelltown boy horribly injured in the post-Christmas sales. The New Year changes that will affect the family budget. And cricketers taking tea at the best address in Sydney.
This is 9 News with Georgie Gardner.
Good evening. It is the jewel in Australia's crown, and last night Sydney Harbour was once again the glorious showcase for the world's most spectacular display of fireworks. Globally, an estimated 1 billion people watched us bring in the new year, and more than 1.5 million Sydney-siders were on the foreshore to experience the party for themselves.
With spirits soaring, 2015 came in with a golden glow. A dawn dip in the ocean, the perfect trick to help wash away the excesses of the night before. For others, it was just a bit much. Bondi Beach becoming a makeshift bed. Hours after the display, those who didn't even leave the harbour were treated to a natural light show over the bridge. The long clean-up began early at Kirribilli. Litter pickers, street sweepers and garbage trucks were out in force, cleaning up the almost 50 tonnes of rubbish from the foreshore. More than 1.6 million people had crammed into vantage points across the harbour to be inspired for the new year. An eruption of light, a cacophony of sound. 2015 had begun. The music spelling out the city's mood. The bridge crackled and sparkled, then magically appeared to melt away. From the west to the east, the display was dazzling. The water and the skies shone as the thrilling 12-minute display came to a climax. Even while looking ahead, Sydney remembered the heartache of the past month.
We used the parlance also to honour the memory and show support for the families of Katrina Dawson and Tori Johnson.
Under the clear skies and a bright beaming moon, people danced and cheered, even an enthusiastic midnight kiss. Young families were treated to the 9 o'clock entree. And with alcohol-free zones expanded this year, millions were able to dodge the drunks.
Just came down for the kids. They've been bugging me all day to bring them down. So yeah, just put up with the crowds for the kids. 3,000
police were quick to jump on any aggro. Officers saturating the city.
We had only 30 arrests last night with well over 1 million people in town, and it was a sensational effort by everybody.
Paramedics received a call every 23 seconds, mostly for people who just had too much to drink. It wasn't just alcohol either. At the Above and Beyond dance concert at Hordern Pavilion, 6 people were taken to St Vincent's Hospital after having bad reactions to illegal drugs, while 31 people were arrested and charged.
They've got to really think about the consequences of taking drugs has on their own body, but also now the family grief and the concern of their loved ones.
Sydney showed its wares as an international city.
We are so happy to be here!
Everyone is... Newcomers from all around the world enjoying a balmy summer's night and arguably the best show on the planet.
Everyone is so friendly. It's just such an amazing city.
They said it would be the fireworks show to end all fireworks shows, and with all the vantage points packed out around the harbour, people have scrambled wherever they can to catch just a glimpse of the bridge. And when you do, it's pretty spectacular. As the smoke lingered, the great annual exodus began. Shoes came off and weary people rushed to bus stops and train stations. A pretty tough act to follow, but with 365 days to go until the next countdown, the verdict can be left to the kids.
I loved it so much, and I went, and next year's going to be even better.
Chris O'Keefe, 9 News.
Well, police were pleased to report there was little trouble across Sydney. A number of people have been seriously injured in firework explosions. Reporter Ellie Walsh joins us now. And Ellie, one man's in St George Hospital tonight. Tell us what happened.
Georgie, the 29-year-old was in this very spot with his loved ones and a firework has exploded in his face. Now, the very latest, he is in an induced coma in a critical condition after having undergone surgery earlier today. His family home just a few blocks from where we are right now. They are devastated by the events that happened here less than 24 hours ago. A father and husband, Adrian Alafaci, now fighting for his life in St George Hospital after what was supposed to be the happiest of all nights.
So obviously they went down to the beach and everything went belly up.
It was after midnight on the serene sands of Sans Souci Beach. The 29-year-old had been in a group of half a dozen friends and family ringing in the new year when a firework exploded in his face.
There were a number of fairly loud bangs, and then there was that one that was quite different and very bright.
The father of one suffered severe burns to both his head and neck. Neighbours heard the panicked calls for help.
Then I heard some people screaming, some ladies screaming and saying, "He's burnt, he's burnt."
Earlier, the Blakehurst High School graduate had been attending a party at this house, less than 100 metres from the beach. But even parties with the best of intentions can have tragic outcomes. 3 others sustaining fireworks-related burns overnight, 2 in Victoria and a 22-year-old near Batteau Bay on the New South Wales Central Coast.
Homemade fireworks are extremely dangerous. They're unstable, and people need to understand that they're dealing with an explosive device.
In New South Wales, it is illegal to use fireworks without a licence. The ban has been in place since 1987. But on nights like New Year's Eve, in picturesque, relaxed settings like this one, people often throw caution to the wind.
We're gravely concerned about his condition. He's in a critical condition. We really feel for the family and the young male.
Ellie Walsh, 9 News.
New Year's celebrations in China have turned to tragedy, with 35 people killed during a stampede in Shanghai. The crush happened at a popular riverside spot where thousands had gathered to see in 2015. Witnesses claim the incident was sparked by fake money being thrown from a nearby building.